This will be spoiler free in the beginning. I'll warn when I'm getting into spoilers. I was bored at work and wanted to randomly pick a manga to read to make the time go by faster. I saw this was made by One, the mangaka for One Punch Man and Mob Psycho. I knew it wouldn't be bad, so I checked it out. Bug Ego. The Viz synopsis is perfect. Life hacks take on a whole new meaning when two students exploit glitches that distort reality. It doesn't spoil anything and makes you want to know what a life hack is. Let me give a more in-depth synopsis about the story. Two high school students, Hitsujaya Makoto and Kokudo Takahiro, use real-life hacks to warp reality. Kokudo found a notebook full of reality-changing life hacks that has instructions on how to use them and rules on using them. To use the hacks, they have super specific instructions, which is good. It explains why they are unknown to the whole world. This is in chapter 2 as an example. Just to do a lucid dreaming hack, you have to do a bunch of unorthodox stuff. This is how elaborate most of the hacks are to do. No ordinary person would randomly stumble upon doing this. In fact, the main plot right now is them trying to discover where the notebook came from, who had the notebook before, how do they figure out these hacks if they are so complicated to do. It's a compelling hook to make you keep reading. The hacks seem harmless at first, but they quickly find out how chaotic the hacks can be. The way they use the hacks, it gets more and more creative. They start combining hacks later, and I don't want to say too much more for spoilers. I'm really enjoying the story so far. The story is a mix of comedy and surprisingly horror. I 100% did not expect to see horror elements in this story. I thought it was going to be just some friends doing some hacks and it's pretty funny. Then out of nowhere, Junji Ito comes in and draws a few pages. I'm joking, but the artist Kyoto Shitara does amazing work. I don't know how common it is, but this is the first time I think I've seen what looks like CG drawings. It has to be a CG model that they somehow put onto the page. I don't know how it's done, but it looks really cool. Use it in the CG parts of the story, and I think it helps make it more unsettling. CG has that uncanny valley feel, and I think this is a good idea to use it here to help make you feel like something's off. It probably has a term for it, but I don't know what the name is for this kind of CG manga drawing. I might sound dumb here. Someone can explain it in the comments maybe. I'll stop here for the spoiler-free section. Hopefully I showed enough to convince you to read Bug Ego. I only touched the surface of the manga. I think if it keeps going at this pace, it could be another one of One's greats, up there with One Punch Man and Mob. It's only 12 chapters as of making this video, and they come out on the 18th of every month, so it's an easy catch up. Alright, leave now if you don't want spoilers. Spoilers are starting. Alright, first, the whole dream nightmare thing was terrifying. I didn't know this was going to be gory, especially after the first chapter. It was supposed to just be funny and interesting, then all of a sudden it becomes a nightmare. It is an awesome way to show how chaotic the hacks are. It was just supposed to be a safe, lucid dreaming hack, but it went really wrong. It's a good way to hook people to keep reading the story. The first chapter got me interest, then the second chapter fully hooked me. The school assignment field trip thing was interesting. Hitsujaya willingness to make a fool of himself in order to do and fix these hacks is commendable. Again, the comedy horror mix is interesting. The wood carving is creepy, and what it does is unnerving. Hitsujaya having to be a human vacuum, which makes everything he dropped in the museum come back to him, which made his poop fly back into his butt, was hilarious. So the horror and comedy weirdly work. The bullies kind of had a Mob Psycho feel to it. Them taking the photo of Hitsujaya doing the vacuum, planning to spread it around to make fun of him, but the big bully got his subconscious back from Hitsujaya doing it again. Also, his poop goes back into him, and he has a change of heart to delete the photo. Then having him sign the paper for them to make the walking club felt like a Mob Psycho moment. It can't be just me that has that feeling. It was a little weird that One, the mangaka, created a whole new female character, Yuki, that is the smart one of the group, when he could have just used Mosawa. It seemed like he was setting up Mosawa to be Yuki's character, but more shy. I like Yuki. It just felt weird. I wonder what Mosawa's role will be. It seems like she will join the group, or she will just be a love interest for Hitsujaya. Speaking of Yuki, she is a good addition to the group. She's bringing the brain to the group, helping them answer questions about the notebook. It was badass when she figured out the symbol of the other life hack group, and they're doing this symbol on a huge scale, and as she reveals this to them, she's like, I already fought one and brought back a golem. That was really cool, and she's the one that introduces the idea of combining hacks to do her electric punch, so we're fleshing out the hack system more. Also, Canner! I was so sad when they took him to the other dimension and left him there. Also, the landscape and creatures in that area was really cool. I'm glad Hitsujaya went back for Canner, and we see Canner's love machine mode that saves him. He must protect Canner at all costs. The last thing to talk about story-wise is the latest chapter, chapter 12, with Hitsujaya bugging out at the end. I love the world building so far. It keeps getting more and more interesting. I guess if you use the hacks too much, there's a chance you start to bug out of reality. Hitsujaya just starts acting weird, then disappears. I'm gonna guess he teleports teleported somewhere. I don't know what else could happen. He can't die because he's one of the main characters. I guess a theory would be he teleported to another dimension, since they keep bringing up dimensions with the stickers, so maybe. And he went to another dimension from the tree place, so that would be my likely theory on that. Before I leave, I have some questions. One, a reverse time hack kind of breaks the story, since any of them can do it. If someone gets hurt or dies, they can go back in time. Although one did make it super specific to do the hack. They had to wait like 44 years for an eclipse, so I kind of give it a pass. It technically breaks the story, but it's complicated enough that I think it's fine. You could mess up the dance like Itsujai did the first time and ruin your life. But yes, in a very, very technical way, it breaks the story. It's not a big deal. Now, this next one is kind of a big question. What does the symbol do? If they're trying to do it on a big scale, it must do something big. In the first chapter, they went through most of their life when the time travel failed. The symbol thing must not be that big of a deal because it would have been completed. Because if they never knew about it and this other group was already doing it, it would have been completed. So what I mean is, if we already saw their future and it didn't seem like the symbol ever came up in that future, then that would kind of be a plot hole. It mostly depends on what the symbol turns out to be and what it does. They said the symbol looks like a cocoon, so if a giant kaiju or demon comes out of it, then it'd be kind of a plot hole since they would have known about it since he went to the future. But oh well, it's not a big problem. It's just a small plot hole I noticed if it turns out to be something big. That's just something to think about. That's all I got for now, and I look forward to seeing more of this manga.